Drug addiction, it's been the plague of modern America, but that could now change forever.
What started as a rumor may now actually be an incredible breakthrough in the battle against addictions of all kinds.
Tonight, KRON 4's Greg Lyon uncovers the truth behind ibogaine in a special report you'll see only on 4.
Wendy, ibogaine has a number of strikes against it. It doesn't come from a modern laboratory, but from an ancient plant. It was discovered not by a scientist, but by a heroin addict. It is mildly hallucinogenic and completely illegal in the United States. But having said all that, when it comes to curing addiction, a reputable scientist believes ibogaine is nothing short of a miracle.
I didn't believe it. When I first heard about ibogaine, I thought it was something that needed to be debunked.
Dr. Deborah Mash is a professor of neurology and molecular and cellular pharmacology at the University of Miami. She is one of the few scientists in the world to study ibogaine, a mild hallucinogen that comes from the root of a shrub found in West Africa, and was rumored to have the amazing ability to help drug addicts kick their addiction.
This didn't come from the Salk Institute. This didn't come from the Scripps Institute. This came from a junkie who took a dose to get high himself. So the original observation came from the underground.
Observations from this particular underground are not likely to gain the respect of mainstream society. That first report came in 1962, but decades would pass with little scientific investigation. They were decades during which the cost of addiction in terms of medical care, lost productivity, and crime and incarceration rose to $160 billion a year. The human toll was impossible to calculate.
I had been, pretty successful in my life. I had accomplished a lot of things I wanted to do. And then repeatedly, I just watched everything burst into flames and disintegrate because I could not stay off heroin.
Patrick Kropa was a heroin addict for 16 of his 35 years.
It just gets very tiring living like a slave because you keep chasing this and it's like, you're not getting high. It's just, I must do this every single day just to get normal so I can function.
Like most addicts, Kropa tried to quit, but treatment for addiction is notoriously ineffective. Only 1 in 10 addicts manages to return to a drug-free life. Most stay dependent on illegal drugs or their legal substitutes like methadone.
I was a spectacular failure at every possible treatment modality, every paradigm, every detox, every therapy. Nothing ever worked.
Even as Patrick Kropa despaired of ever kicking heroin, Dr. Mash was petitioning the Federal Food and Drug Administration to allow a scientific test of ibogaine, which by this time had been classified as a Schedule I drug on a par with heroin. In 1993, the FDA approval came through.
We had a team of research scientists, doctors, clinicians, psychiatrists, toxicologists, and we wanted to go forward with this.
But even with FDA approval, Dr. Mash could not find funding to look into what was, after all, a counterculture drug. In order to complete her project, she had to leave South Florida and go offshore to the island of St. Kitts.
In 1998, clinical trials finally got underway. Patients were given carefully prepared oral doses of ibogaine. What happened next astounded the skeptical scientist.
Our first round in St. Kitts, we treated 6 individuals, and I will go to my grave with the memory of that first round.
It quickly became apparent that 1 dose of ibogaine blocked the withdrawal symptoms of even hardcore addicts and was amazingly effective for heroin, crack cocaine, and even alcohol.
I think we're going to see fantastic numbers. I think these numbers are going to be stunning.
We'll see why Dr. Mash says that and what it feels like for an addict to take ibogaine with the conclusion of my report tonight at 9:30.
Very exciting.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see you in about half an hour.
Okay, good.
Okay, Greg.